Tonight's bold accusation, Jodi tortured Travis. Tonight, 12 jurors here in studio, and you, our online jury at home, will decide if Jodi Arias is guilty or not guilty of torturing Travis Alexander.
All right, so the defense has a lot to say about this bold accusation. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let me introduce you to them right now. We have Esther Panitch and, of course, Darren Kavanaugh. And let me just say, Darren Kavanaugh, of course, the host, Investigation Discovery, Deadly Sins, criminal defense attorney out of Los Angeles. And Esther Panitch, right here in Atlanta, not only criminal defense attorney, but a family law attorney as well. And that meshes well here. Esther, I think you have an opening statement.
I do, Joey. 62 seconds does not equal torture. We know that 62 seconds is the time frame between the last picture taken of Travis Alexander while he was alive and the first picture taken of Alexander after he had been killed. Today is a very difficult question for you all. And let us just start out by saying, we do not believe that Jodi Arias is innocent. In fact, we believe that she's one of the most horrific people that we have seen in a long time. And we are not doing anything to diminish the damage she has done to Travis Alexander and his family. But the very narrow question you have to answer today is, did she torture him? And we will argue, and our evidence will show, that in that short time period, Jodi shot him and then stabbed him, trying to inflict as much pain as possible after his death, which is not torture.
All right. You've heard from the prosecution, ladies and gentlemen. You're anxious to hear from the defense. I'm going to have you do that now. Of course, we have Darren Kavanaugh and we have Esther Panitch. So, Esther Panitch wanted me to talk to you about real torture. And I want to show you some clips from the movie 24 as well as Taken. Take a look.
Unless you tell me what I want to know. I need you to be focused. Are you focused yet?
Esther, take us through this about what you believe torture is and is not.
Well, as we saw in the clips, torture, as we understand it, is usually to try to convince someone to make a confession or give up information that can help someone else or help the authorities. Obviously, in this case, neither definition fits. Jodi wasn't trying to get Travis to say anything. She wasn't trying to get information for something else. She wanted him dead. How is she going to torture him when he's already dead? The only way this entire scene makes sense is for that Jodi, who was smaller in size than Travis, and remember, very afraid, or so she claims, afraid of Travis, had to disarm him. She had to kill him or shoot him in order to prevent him from coming at her. Does it make sense that she would go up to him with a knife first? I mean, no, he could take the knife away from her. So it only makes sense when he is shot first and then stabbed, which is all horrible, but it's not torture because he's already dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are with the jury and the defense team here at the recreated HLN crime scene. This jury has plenty of questions for the defense.
Have the experts found that Jodi has any of the characteristics of someone who is capable of torture?
That's an excellent question. I don't recall any testimony being brought up by either the state or the defense to address that particular issue. In fact, the testimony that we've heard so far shows that Jodi may have been suffering from some post-traumatic stress as a result of the murder, which, of course, sounds a little strange because the PTSD came from the act of killing him and not from the alleged abuse that happened before. So I don't know if you want to believe that she has PTSD. I don't know that I believe that she has PTSD. But for purposes of what we're here for tonight, is to determine whether he was tortured. And again, it appears that he was disabled. The no defensive wounds on Jodi. He was disabled probably by the bullet, even if it didn't kill him.
But it would be speculation to say that she has these characteristics, just like it's speculation to say that those marks on his legs in the autopsy photo came from her stomping on him. They could have come from any number of things, and we don't know when they happened. So there's a lot of speculation and just a little bit of evidence here.
How easy or difficult is it to actually slash somebody's throat from ear to ear? You would think that it might be a torturous action to get that level of depth that we just saw in the picture.
Well, certainly there was an incredible amount of aggression in Jodi, that she was able to, in this frenzy, to do what she did and stab him 27 times and slit his throat and shoot him. But think about how close could she get to him if he was still conscious? Would you just let someone walk up to you and start slashing your throat?
He'd have to be disabled.
He would have had to have been disabled prior to that happening, because otherwise you wouldn't have seen her with mark. You would have seen her with marks all over her from being fought by Travis.
All right, Vinny. Well, we have Esther Panitch here, a criminal defense attorney and family law attorney who wants to pour some cold water on that theory of the smoking gun. Esther?
Vinny, I agree with much of what you just said, that she brought a gun, that she could have killed him, and that this was very personal. I agree. This was very personal. But think about it rationally. How is Jodi supposed to get so close to torture Travis without him already being disabled? She used the gun to shoot him and disarm him, disable him. So then she could act out with all the aggression that had been building up in her for so long. And this is a horrible, horrible thing, but this is not torture.
I expect that we're going to hear a lot more of the kind of arguments that we've heard right here on the After Dark set if the case moves to the penalty phase. And I think gamblers' odds say that's probably where we're headed here. So, yeah.
All right. Great job by everyone. Thank you so much to our jury and to defense and Joseph Scott Morgan. That's all the time we have today. Tomorrow we will have another bold accusation, another live jury in studio, and yes, another verdict. That is it tonight for HLN After Dark.